In a modest flat above a London pub, a young man with dyslexia and no formal film training spent nights splicing together Super 8 footage, dreaming of a cinema that pulsed with street slang, sharp suits, and chaotic energy. He wasn't interested in polite dramas or Hollywood gloss. He wanted to capture the raw rhythm of London's underworld, where crooks quoted scripture, gangsters debated philosophy, and every handshake hit a blade. That man was Guy Ritchie, and his explosive debut would not only redefine British crime cinema, but launch a career spanning global blockbusters, literary adaptations, and unexpected reinventions, all while staying fiercely true to his roots. Born on September 10, 1968, in Hatfield, Hertfordshire, Guy grew up in a middle-class household marked by early instability. His parents divorced when he was 5, and he was raised primarily by his mother, Amber, a nurse, and later by his stepfather, a financier. Struggling with undiagnosed dyslexia, he found school frustrating and uninspiring. He was expelled at 15 and drifted through odd jobs, selling used cars, working as a runner on music videos, even dabbling in semi-professional soccer. But cinema called to him. He devoured films by Scorsese, Tarantino, and Sergio Leone, studying how dialogue, editing, and music could create kinetic storytelling. In his early 20s, he scraped together £12,000, mostly from family and friends, to shoot his first short film, The Hard Case, a gritty noir that caught the eye of a few industry insiders. Encouraged, he teamed up with producer Matthew Vaughn and wrote a script so fast-paced, layered, and linguistically inventive it read like a jazz improvisation. Shot on a shoestring budget of just £1.4 million, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels 1998 became a cultural earthquake. With its breakneck editing, overlapping dialogue, eccentric criminals, and dark humor, it felt unlike anything British cinema had seen. Critics were polarized, audiences were electrified. The film grossed over $28 million worldwide and launched careers, not just Ritchie's, but those of Jason Statham, Vinnie Jones, and a host of unknowns who embodied London's rough charm. What made Lock, Stock revolutionary wasn't just style, it was authenticity. Ritchie didn't romanticize crime. He portrayed it as chaotic, absurd, and often tragic, yet laced with camaraderie and code. His characters weren't heroes or villains, they were survivors navigating a world of debt, luck, and loyalty. The film's success gave him creative freedom, which he used immediately for Snatch 2000, an even more audacious cocktail of bare-knuckle boxing, stolen diamonds, and indecipherable accents. Though initially confusing to some, Snatch became a cult phenomenon, praised for its energy, wit, and unforgettable performances, especially Brad Pitt's hilarious turn as the nearly unintelligible Irish traveller Mickey O'Neill. Yet fame came with backlash. Detractors dismissed his work as style over substance, accusing him of glorifying violence or relying too heavily on gimmicks. Personal life added fuel. His high-profile marriage to Madonna brought intense media scrutiny, and his next films, Swept Away 2002 and Revolver 2005, were critical and commercial failures. Swept Away, a remake starring his wife, was booed at festivals and won multiple Razzie Awards. For a moment, it seemed his meteoric rise had flamed out. But Ritchie never stopped working. He retreated from Hollywood spectacle and returned to what he knew best: grounded, character-driven stories. In 2008, he rebooted one of fiction's most iconic figures with Sherlock Holmes. Starring Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law, the film reimagined the detective as a scruffy, bare-knuckle brawler with a mind like a supercomputer. It was a massive hit, earning over $500 million and proving Ritchie could handle big budgets without losing his signature flair: rapid-fire deductions visualized as slow-motion fight sequences, witty banter, and labyrinthine plots. He followed it with Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows 2011, then pivoted again with The Man from UNCLE. 2015, a stylish Cold War spy romp that blended 1960s aesthetics with modern pacing. Each project showed his range. He wasn't just a crime director, he was a stylistic chameleon who could adapt tone, era, and genre while maintaining rhythmic precision. His personal life stabilized after divorcing Madonna in 2008 and marrying model Jackie Ainsley, with whom he has 3 sons. He also reconnected with his roots, moving back to the English countryside and focusing on projects close to his heart. In 2015, he returned to his origins with The Gentleman, a slick, self-aware crime caper about an American expat trying to sell his marijuana empire to a rival gang. Filled with razor-sharp dialogue, eccentric henchmen, and meta-commentary on British class and race, it felt like a mature evolution of Lock, Stock, same energy, deeper wisdom. Beyond directing, Ritchie co-founded production company Cottage Films and invested in real estate, pubs, and football clubs, always keeping one foot in the working-class world he portrayed. He rarely gives interviews, avoids social media, and lets his films speak for themselves. Yet his influence is everywhere, in the snappy dialogue of modern thrillers, the non-linear storytelling of streaming series, and the resurgence of British crime narratives. He also quietly supports youth filmmaking initiatives, funding workshops for underprivileged teens in East London, believing that talent exists everywhere, it just needs a chance. He once said off record that his dyslexia taught him to see stories differently, not as linear paths, but as collages of sound, image, and rhythm. Today, Ritchie continues to evolve. His 2023 film The Covenant marked a dramatic shift, a war drama set in Afghanistan with minimal dialogue, maximum tension, and profound moral weight. Critics hailed it as his most mature work, proving he could strip away all his trademarks and still command the screen through pure emotional truth. From a dyslexic dropout to editing films in a pub attic to an Oscar-nominated filmmaker with over $3 billion in box office earnings, Guy Ritchie's journey defies convention. He never attended film school, never followed trends, and never apologized for his voice. Instead, he built a cinematic language all his own, one where chaos has rhythm, criminals have honor, and every frame crackles with life. And in doing so, he didn't just make movies, he gave British cinema a new swagger, one Cockney quip at a time.